Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about something that is really cool. And this is one of the few good things that Wargaming's done in the last year, I'd be honest, but it is really good. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about it, and I hope that these changes stay in the game and everything else. With that being said, what exactly is going on? Well, Wargaming has brought 3 maps back into World of Tanks Blitz. For players that are new to the game, which means players that have been playing Blitz for the last 7 years, you probably won't have ever played on these maps before. If you're a player like myself, who's been playing Blitz for 11 years, then yes, you will know these maps. But essentially, Wargaming has brought 3 maps into the game, or brought them back, that were originally removed. And today, we are going to be taking a look at all 3 of these maps. Starting off, we have Winter Malinovka, or should I specifically say, Malinovka. This is some really interesting tomfoolery Wargaming's doing here, but you can get both Winter Malinovka and Malinovka in the same matchmaking. What do I mean? Well, we can clearly see that this is not the Winter Malinovka you're used to. This is the original map before Wargaming changed it. And the interesting thing about it is that you can still get our version of Winter Malinovka and this version, which makes this by far the hardest map to get. I played Blitz for 5.5 hours today. I did 2.5 hours on EU, another 3 hours on NA. I got the original Winter Mali once. That's it. That's why this is a YouTube video here of my live stream versus me actually having a replay. Well, unfortunately, I had the replay taken out because I forgot to set the replay limit to 100 battles. Now, this spot I'm currently in is honestly pretty overpowered. Both sides of the map have this camping spot, and I would highly recommend if you do get this map to take advantage of this spot. It literally allows you to cover the entire map. I can sit from this position here. I can overlook the entire medium flank. I can overlook the entire heavy flank, and I can literally shoot all the tank destroyers. It's actually wild. I mean, look at this 183. We aim it on his lower plate. Unfortunately, goes a little bit high there, but still, like, the ability to take advantage of this position is kind of crazy. I do need to skip past this. I didn't realize that my reload clip button had been changed, so when I tried to reload my clip, it wouldn't let me. So I actually had to shoot the shell and then go into settings while I was reloading. But yeah, you can see how overpowered this position is. It literally allows me to cover the entire map. I can shoot anything near the church, anything at the back of the map, and anything inside this dome here. And you can see just how much steeper this mountain is on the older version of the map. It's just this huge crater. In fact, the map is probably about 30% larger than the current one we play on. The medium side is so much larger, and I actually like that. I think that this version of Winter Mali, it definitely has some problems, but I think if balanced properly, it would be a lot more fun than the current one we play on, just because of the fact you have so much more room to work, which gives you more positioning and capabilities. Especially if Wargaming ever did decide to do 10 versus 10, it would be really cool to have a larger map to be able to do that on. Either way, really, really fun battle. Able to deal 3,600-ish damage in my TVP, and a pretty good game, so no complaints coming from me. Now that brings us over to Mirage. Now, Mirage is another removed map. Well, actually, it wasn't removed. Mirage has been available from Tier 1 to 3, but anything past that was not available. And I have to say, Mirage is a very, very nice looking map. We have to wait for the battle to start. Here we go. But we can actually take a look at the map while the Type 71's driving the position. It's a really big map, right? We have the whole medium flank over here. And then you have the heavy flank over to this portion of the map. I mean, look at the size of this. Mirage is probably about, I don't know, twice the size of the normal Blitz map, and I really like that. It gives you so much more opportunity to do what you want, right? You have this whole little medium area over here where you can work hull down, use the ridge lines, and do whatever you want. Then you have this middle area here where you can work more hull down positioning. You have the hills, which if you can get a tank destroyer too, or a heavy tank too, can be incredibly dangerous. And then you have the heavy tank side over here, which you can also work. You can bring your tank into the water over here and get hull down. You can try and go all the way over to the far portion here. There are so many different positions that you can put your tank to, and all of them are absolutely epic. By the way, bro, look at the textures. Wargaming has clearly not touched up any of the textures on this map. This is the worst looking rock I have ever seen in my life. It's It's kind of wild when you look at how bad the textures were. Sorry, I had like a yawn there. But it's kind of wild when you look at how bad the textures were in the OG Blitz. So we can see there is an E100 in front. And going to aim it on that E100. Boom. Easy shot. It is kind of insane how much premium pen the Type 71 has. The 113 may have the highest premium pen number for a heavy, being 390 mils of Cali, but I don't think it doesn't get even close to the Type 71's 362 with premium AP. That premium AP just allows you to, with the shell normalization of 5 degrees better through all enemy opponents. Now, I won't lie, our hero here, Eric Nico, does make some sussler plays. Eric, I would have definitely recommended to clear the C100 before trying to clear that T110E4, because you kind of put yourself in a crossfire if you ignore the E100 and the E4. So I do think that going for the E100 right now, probably a better play, but you overpoke, get a nice shot into the T110E4, and now the E100 pokes because he knows he has the reload on you and starts aiming on your vehicle. Is he going to pen you? Well, no. Shoots at your hatch for some reason. I don't know. We're not going to say these are the smartest players. All right, well, 2,700 damage has been dealt, 2,600 damage has been blocked, and the 183 just obliterated Henrique in the TVP. Not a shocker there. We have the Badger sitting out in the open. Let's see, can you get a pen into the Badger? Aiming. Badger does not shoot you for some reason, but you don't pen the Badger either, so I guess it's a bit of a wash. Honestly, Badger armor is still pretty impressive if you're able to work it on a ridgeline. So we got the VZ55 aiming in. Bonk. Nice shell into the VZ. 350 damage. Pretty dang nice. Backing up. Ooh, you get a bounce as well. I will say, for anybody watching today's video, if you are a beginner or a player who is under 5,500 battles, I would highly recommend to get the Type 71. And the reason why is because it is such a overpowered beginner tank. The level of armor this vehicle features against other players under 5,500 games is insane. They will bounce you. They won't know where to shoot. They'll bounce you. The track wheels are super thick. The upper plate's super thick. In general, the Type 71 is a freaking beast. And the gun also is super forgiving because it has so much pen and you barely lose damage when loading gold. So it really is a beginner beast. Like, if you're a beginner, the Type 71 is the #1 tank to go for. Also, that was the most bogus shot I've ever seen in my life. This Caro, from this position, managed to hit the Type 71 hatch. Let me just show you the shot. Like, bruh. And he was backing up. Like, from this angle, you don't even have the shot. That Caro, full speed backing up, managed to hit that. That is insane. But at this point, 3,530 damage block. The Badger isn't figuring out what to do here. Okay, driving. Nice pen into lower plate of the Badger, and that leaves only 2 tanks left. A Caro, who is going to die, and then as soon as the Caro dies, an AFK Kron gets farmed out. So I figured there wasn't too much more to showcase in this battle. But still, really fun game. 7,000 damage dealt in the Type 71, which is a pretty crazy battle. And what's crazier to me is that this isn't even a Noob M... maybe it is a Noob MM battle. I take it back. This is Noob MM. Okay, that makes more sense. So the way Noob MM works, for anybody that's unaware, is basically if you're really bad at the game, like this VZ who has 60,000 games and a 43%, or you have under 5,000 battles, you are placed into a specific matchmaker. And you can see, right, all these players here are sub 50%. This guy has under 5k games, the IS-7 has under 5k games. So essentially, if you're under 5k battles, you get sent into your own special matchmaker, or if you're really bad at the game, you'll also be sent into this matchmaker. And that's why the Type 71 did get such an easy farm and bounce fest. So I kind of thought it was Noob MM just by the way everything was going on. But either way, pretty good battle from Eric there. Nothing too bad at all. And now we arrive to another map, which had been fully removed from the game up until, well, today. And that is Lost Temple, a map that a lot of people have been wanting to play on. As you can see, everybody in the game chat also are like, finally gotten this map. It's kind of lame that it's very rare to get these maps. There's 3 new maps, and yet out of 5 hours of playing, I only got maybe 5-6 battles of the new maps. Once on Winter Mali, like 3 times on Lost Temple, and twice on Mirage. It's actually really lame. I would like to have played on these maps more during a 5-hour period. I'm not sure if Wargaming made the chance of playing on these maps smaller, but it's definitely a little bit lame. Now, this battle here, we have our hero being Mac. I can't read the rest. Wow, that was a really unfortunate shot into that Foch. All right, well, we're in the T-22, which is obviously a fantastic tank. I would definitely shoot at the Foch here and not the KPT. That's a waste of time. Yeah, especially because the Foch is literally in the open. But might be a little too late now. Yeah, it definitely is a little bit too late. Shot management is by far one of the most important things to do in the game. Now, while this battle is going on, let's take a look at this map. We can obviously see we got the whole medium flank here. Personally, I like to take advantage of these ridges, but you do have to be really careful because from these ridge lines here, you can get shot from tanks that might go to the heavy flanks. So you do have to be really careful, but I can definitely tell you that working these areas here, if you're able to get on top of these ridges, if you're able to climb this ridge line over here, it's going to give you a really, really good advantage to get haul down and over your opponent. So that's what I'd recommend to do. Take advantage of these ridge lines. You got these little bridges that you can climb over too, which is really, really sick. When you move over to the other side of the map, you have a lot of positioning here as well. You've got the heavy flanks, which you can, you can hide your lower plane in these little corners here. This is like IS-4 heaven, IS-7 heaven, because of where you're able to hide your lower plate. Same thing for these stairs here. You can just poke your turret like the C6 is doing and not actually show your hull, which is fantastic. You have great tank destroyer positions like this spot back here, which is able to get some really, really nasty bleeds if you're able to look at players that overpoke. In general, I think this is actually a really well-balanced map. I'm not sure why Wargaming ended up removing this map. I'm also not sure why you fired a standard shell on that conf panther after seeing the entire tank was red. One of the biggest reasons skilled players are able to get a lot of damage out is because before even firing at an opponent, instantly you know what you need to load, right? So when I'm shooting at that conf panther, if I only see the turret, I already know I need to load gold. I'm not going to spend time, dilly-dallying with what I should fire there. But you get a nice shell into this Pro Jet Luis, 1 HP. I mean, it doesn't matter because you have teammates, but it is still pretty funny to see 1 hit point there. So now we have the heavy flank, and our T-22 hero is going to move up and get a nice shell into the T-30. Maxwell as well, dealing 388 damage. That's pretty dang sweet. A T-30 is not too healthy anymore. Ooh, T-30 is going to poke, and nice. A little bit of a high roll, but that makes up for the low roll with your tungsten on that enemy. Ooh, that's the advantage of the T-22 is even if you make, well, kind of bad pokes, you get away with it. And that was definitely kind of a bad poke there. But let's see what you can do here. You're definitely putting yourself in a sussler situation because you got the 114 in front and you also have tanks behind you. But the 114 doesn't shoot at you, which means you can take advantage of it. You're obviously only running tungsten, but that's still completely fine for dealing damage. Easy shell once again into that 114, and at this point, this 114 is obviously going to be cleared. Oof. Lucky there that the 114 obviously messed up that shot. All right, well, now we have the T95E6. Nice shell into the 95E6 once. We got the, what is it, the Super Conch in mid. Another nice shell into the E6. Now you just got to get to his side, get an easy clear, and that'll be a super fast kill. Nice. All that's left now is the Super Conch. Do you get a clear into the Super Conch? You do. Nice. 4,673 damage. Is that an ace for the T-22? I doubt it. Yeah, I was about to say. T-22 is a really, really strong performer right now, so I would have been surprised if it was an ace. Is this another new mem battle? I don't know. It might be. These are really bad players, but I don't think so. No, this is just normal NA pubs. Yeah, it's just normal bad players on the NA server. Either way, it's pretty sweet that Wargaming has brought 3 maps back. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and if you'd like to see more content like this, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.